Listen, you know what time it is. It's time for another episode of your favorite new podcast entitled We Hate You Internet! All right, gather around once again. We find ourselves in the place where they love to ask the question, what is your forte? It's Forte Studios here in Houston, Texas, and this is We Hate You Internet. It's a podcast designed to bring awareness to some of the problematic effects of the internet on our lives, as well as celebrate the beautiful simplicity of our humanity. I'm Will Hamilton, your host, sitting alongside me. She's representing Nirvana. You know what I'm saying? And you can't see her feet, but she got the fresh ice white Air Force Ones on. You know what I'm saying? Stuffing in my Air Force. I get this stuffing in my. That's what the cats are, you know what I'm saying? From back in the day, you know what I'm saying? That's how we used to get down. Feeling much better. Bringing joy to all our lives. Her name is
Clara Aguirre. Hello, hello. Happy to be here today.
With vertical spirit fingers. Clara Aguirre is in the building. And we want to say thank you once again, as we always do, to all those who have shown support. The people that have followed on Instagram. We are well on our way to 8,000. And just, like I say, man, the growth has been remarkable.
Yeah. And
all the interaction, all the comments. We just really are grateful and appreciative of all those things. And we want to just take this opportunity to say thank you. I want to encourage all those who engage in our content, whether it be visually through YouTube. We want to ask that you please make sure that you hit the subscribe button when you do so. We have a lot of people that watch, but they don't hit the subscribe button. We want to encourage you to do that. It helps us move this platform along the way as far as the things that we're trying to accomplish. Hit the like button, notification bell, and please leave a comment and express your thoughts, because we're on this side of the screen running our mouth all the time, but we like to hear what you have to think also. If you're listening on the audio side, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, whatever, I'd ask you to do something similar. Make sure that you rate the show, hit the 5 stars, as well as leave a brief review, just expressing your thoughts as far as how this show has been treating you. You know, if you've been enjoying it, we greatly appreciate it. We love to read all the reviews. It gives us the fuel that we need to keep moving forward. So please do those things. You want to show support to the platform. There's a link in the bio. It says buy me a coffee. Everybody loves coffee. You know what I'm saying? People drink it all the time. My man's drinking some right now behind the screen. It gives you, keep your mind motivated and stimulated, you know what I mean, to have the conversation that is needful at the present moment. And our cups that are here, they are empty though. So if you don't mind going on and donating, it's just $2, per cup. Now it's 2 people here, so that's full. I mean, if you're really being generous, so you can just buy us a whole month for a supply if you like. Anyway, that was kind of cheesy, I guess. Whatever. My wife says, she's like, anytime I have an unfunny joke, because most of the time, like 98% of the time, I'm funny. You see what I'm saying? It's just a natural thing. But every once in a while, I come out with a stinker. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. We have a deal, you know what I'm saying? I get one bad joke every 3 months, once a quarter.
Okay.
And every once in a while, I get close to like day 89, like, man, I haven't used it. Let me go ahead and, fart out one stinky one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just like, you might as well use it. It's use or lose. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well get it out. That's mine for this quarter. Anyway. Yeah. Support the show. Also, we got the merch now. Like I said, last time I got up out the seat and messed all the whole setup and everything. I have my shoes all out of position. But we're going to reveal like Superman in them G's. Get that on the camera. Let the people see what time it is. It's super comfortable. You know what I'm saying? 100% cotton. It's the everyday wear. You know what I'm saying? Not that cardboard stuff, the cheap stuff. You see what I'm saying?
And you get to wear our art.
The art is dope.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to Shows Art out in France, and my man hooked me up. You know what I'm saying? People love it. The people that have purchased it, they vibing with it. And it's beyond a shirt. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not only, it is dope. People compliment it all the time. But even beyond that, I want to make sure that it's always understood that when you don the unplugged We Hate You Internet t-shirt, I gave it a name. I may change it later, but we'll see. It's not just a T-shirt. It's not just a fashion statement. It's a message, and the message is that we're invested in the humanity of humanity. That's the play with We Hate Your Internet. You know what I mean? It's a movement we want to try to create for people to tap into what it means to tap in once again to what it means to be a human being. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're so far away. We have drifted so far away from our natural order and our natural function, and that's causing a lot of the issues that we face in our times today. And so We Hate Your Internet. Like I said, technology is great. I think of it kind of like Wakanda. You see what I'm saying? Like off Black Panther. They out there in the forest. You know what I'm saying? They barefoot, but don't get it twisted. Technology is top notch. You know what I'm saying? And so they found a healthy marriage between the boys outside riding outside. I don't know if you heard that, but they found a healthy marriage between their connection to technology and to nature. Now I know that's cinematic film, but the idea is still very realistic and possible. I mean, you can still use the tools and still understand your place in this nature that you've been born into. And I think that is the idea that we want to promote here on the platform. You see what I'm saying? So we don't actually hate the internet like we always say. It's a good tool. Just don't give yourself over to the tool. Don't become a tool of the tool. And so when you wear the shirt, you know what I mean? It's only $28. Like I said, it's cheap. I mean, compared to other stuff, I've seen other spots, and it's dope. But it's more than just a T-shirt. It's a message, and it gives you a part, or it makes you a part of the movement. All right, we're gonna jump into the topic for today. It's been a while, man, since we had an AI update episode. Mm-hmm. It's been maybe even almost 2 months. I said I want to do one every month. I think AI and its implementation and its development is probably the most important thing to watch as far as overall human, as far as our species is concerned. You know what I mean? Like as far as the thing that will affect humanity the most right now, I think it's AI. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff going on with the conflicts around the world. You know what I mean? Israel and Palestine, that's a thing, and I'm not trying to downplay those conflicts. You know, the Ukraine and Russia's thing is still kind of going on. Like that's a difficult situation, and that's something to watch and monitor as well. But I think AI, from a holistic perspective, as far as every human being on the earth, AI is a thing to watch because it is going to drastically change everything we know about what it means to be human. And everybody's looking at the positives, and I think that it has some great. It'll have some great benefits. I'm not like knocking the ideas, but like I said, I always say innovation is a two-way street. You advance, but then it's going to be a transaction. If you're not careful and you're not mindful, it will take something from you as well. And so, and AI is going to be coming with a big ask. And so that's ASK. And so we want to kind of go over some of the things that have been in development since the last time we spoke. And then the episode will be yours. And so I want to start off with job market, right? I know you have some things. You have anything you want to say? I know we haven't really officially started yet, but
I'm listening. I'm listening in, and I think I just as you're talking about AI, I'm just thinking about all the things that have happened since we last spoke about it.
Yeah, man.
And the timeline for me is just like flashing so quick because there is just so much. And so quickly. Mm-hmm. Like, I think the last time we spoke about it, we were like, oh, it's in its infancy. And don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of the AI that we see is still very new. Mm-hmm. But to think how quickly, like, it's growing. Like, that video you sent me, Hamilton, of the soccer players. Like, okay, I know it's a little forward, but oh, my gosh. Like, it really ties into the job market. But I'm just listening to you.
No, okay. So you start there. We'll start there, right? And so I saw an article, CNN. It was saying that by 2027, 300 million jobs will be replaced by AI. And I thought about like, wow, 300. America's population is 330 million. Now, obviously, that's global, right? So you're talking about 7 billion. So it's not that drastic, but still 300 million jobs replaced by, that means that's 300 million jobs that human beings don't have. A lot of times people are talking about, well, innovation, and people will be able to reskill and be able to take these other jobs of the future. But the issue is that AI essentially takes some of the workload, and if that's the case, then that means that's workload that will not be replaced.
Yeah,
it won't be replaced. And because AI is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, you won't need a whole lot of human interaction as far as in the process. You'll have somebody oversee, but then like you have 2 or 3 computer systems or AI systems that are operating. You have one person that 3 AI systems may do the job of 30 people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So instead of this person being a supervisor over 30 people, you only got 3 systems, one engineer that's over these 3 systems. And you just essentially, instead of having 31 people, 30 employees and one supervisor, you have one employee, that's it.
Yeah.
You just X'd out 30 jobs. And that's just a small time example, but that's what's coming.
And then they're going to pay that one employee next to nothing, really.
I mean, really, because I can replace you. How many other people need a job?
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I was, thinking about Dreamworks put out something. They were saying that with the implementation of AI, they can cut the production cost for an animated film, a full feature animated film, by 90%. And
wow.
When you say, I mean, listen, that's
a huge number.
That is massive.
Yeah.
And so the idea is like, oh wow, people look the innovation. Wow, 90%, man, all the creativity AI can come up with, blah 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 blah. It's so cool they can come up with these animations. But you got to think about how many people. You know that 90%. How many of there's going to be human like capital? People's jobs are not going to be replaced. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I've been saying this. Listen to this song. Now I'm gonna get a little quick. Last week, Clara got, she got excited and she got crunk about, oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Stay human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And rightfully so. And so this week, I'm kind of passionate about this because I've been talking about this. This is our 3rd update on AI. And each episode, if you go back and listen, you've heard me make statements about stuff that's coming. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but God bless me with a halfway working brain, and I can halfway see some pieces when I see a couple of puzzle pieces. I made him put a couple of things together that make sense. You see what I'm saying? And we talked about how AI is going to disrupt the economy. It's going to take a whole lot of jobs. The only other and those jobs can't be replaced. You can't rehire and repurpose all these people. This is not like the Industrial Revolution where you have these new tools that human beings have to operate. These tools operate on their own. They don't need human interaction. You know what I'm saying? And so if a tractor runs by itself, you don't need a person riding a tractor. The tractor runs itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got one farmer, he got a whole bunch. The farm is run by AI. You don't need no farm hands. This, like I said, this is not the industrial. This is different. And people are talking about it, but this stuff is happening as we speak. AI is slowly but surely coming in, making people's jobs obsolete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a global thing. And as a business owner, it just makes too much sense. You know what I'm saying? You take out all the issues that come with having a human employee, and especially in today's time where people are entitled, and not everybody, but the idea is that people want the absolute most for the minimal amount of effort. Mm-hmm. That's how most people are wired. And because of the instant gratification that we have in our society, people are very hard to please.
But I also think that's because they've lost faith in the system. Like, even how we're talking about this, right? They want to cut jobs 90%, right? Is that what you mentioned with the
Dreamwork.
Creators? Like, okay, why though? Do you really need to maximize your profit triangle that much? Like,
yes.
You're still making millions and millions and millions.
I want to make billions.
See, that's what I mean. and what's unfortunate about it all, the top will make the money. It's not gonna go down to the smaller players in the game. It's not. So I think, people lose faith in the system that they got. And so they're saying to themselves, I'm gonna put minimum level effort for a minimum paying job, because why would I do anything more? And so it's a vicious cycle, because then you have that, as you mentioned, the business owners, and it might not even be like these huge corporate business owners suffering. It might be the smaller businesses. It's just the cycle of problems, because now they want the AI.
Here's the thing: who loses in that battle?
People.
You sure right. So if you're an employee, you need to understand what the game is. Like, if you're like, man, they not paying us, blah, 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 then you only give them even more incentive to replace you with a machine that can do your
By
job.
acting the way, yeah.
Exactly. So I listen, I'm a strong proponent that people should be paid for their value. But I also believe that employees have to take on a more independent thought process in their employment.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be expecting people to hire you and they gonna just feed you for like it ain't working like that no more.
Yeah.
And you have to understand like, yo, when I'm an employee of anybody's establishment, we've entered into a contract. That's what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
We've entered into a contract, and I provide you a certain labor, a skill, whatever it is, in exchange for wages. That's the agreement, and I'm gonna give you the best service that I can give you, and then these are wages that we've agreed upon. You know, but the idea that like I'm just come in and give 70% effort, but I want 100% of my money. Hey man, who loses that? You can cut it however you want to cut it, but as a business owner, and I'm not even speaking like I have a business, right? But like I'm not like I want to share. I think that that's right. If you have these people helped you build this thing, then they should share in the profit. That's my personal philosophy. But but from the other perspective, like some people are greedy. Some people want to maximize their profits.
Yeah.
They want to maximize on the investment that they made because they put up all the money to try to. You go to work, all these computers got to get paid for. Somebody paying for this stuff. You know what I mean? They paying for these desks. They paying for the uniform. They paying for all the stuff that the cars, whatever it is you do, however you operate. Somebody put some money down to be able to make this thing happen. So and they want their money back.
Yeah.
Or they went and got invested from other people, and other people want their money back. That's the reality of the situation too. And so employees have to understand, like, yo, what is your position in this machine? And then you have to understand the benefit of making sure that you look at yourself as a business.
Yeah.
And just like you go to an establishment and you want good service, you expect them to take pride in their service. And like, yo, you go to a restaurant, you want the plates to be clean. If you go to they plates good, the server got an attitude, you be like, man, this place is trash. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I don't want to come back here no more. As an employee, you have a business. You provide a service, skill, labor, whatever. And you should be looking like, I want to make sure that my service is reputable. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go somewhere else, if I want to build up certain skills, I need to make sure that my service is reputable. You know what I mean? So that my reputation is good. If they do want to make some cuts, then who do you think they're going to keep? They're going to keep the people whose jobs can't be duplicated. And if it get down to it, they're going to keep the people that they like.
Yeah.
And if they don't like you, because you lazy, you out the door.
You gotta look.
You be they greedy. Well, I want to put it. You know, so they finna eat tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I think it's fair. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, going back to your point about the video, right? So I saw this video on the Instagram. They combined AI with this. I can't remember what the other system was. And they had it to where it did play-by-play for the soccer game.
Yeah, I was narrating it. That was
and it was good. And when I watched, I was like, oof. I was like, there goes TV broadcasting. Like anybody have a job in TV broadcasting, you just about out. Because I mean, why would they pay you and you can get sick and you have to have kids? Like, and this AI thing it'll never clock out. You know what I mean? As long as you maintain the system, it never clocks out. Like it is 24-hour coverage. You just don't get tired. Like it's a hard ask. You know what I mean? And so this is the issue that you're dealing with. It ain't even a matter of like, oh man, they're so heartless. Like, listen, like from a business perspective, why would I pay a person that's gonna come with problems? Every human being gonna come with some issues because life happens. When I can pay a machine that don't have half of those problems, they're not gonna complain. They're not gonna trip by want to raise. I pay it what I pay it, and as long as it work. Like that's gonna be a hard, you know what I mean, ask for a business owner. You know what I mean? And then when your competition is working with AI and they don't have the issues that you have because of the human element, then you have no choice in order to compete. You're gonna have to go that route too. So here's the issue. Goodness gracious, right? And I said it last time, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna add this piece to it. I saw an article, the government is the US government, and I'm not sure if other countries are doing it yet, but there was an order or an initiative from the government to repurpose unused office spaces, in downtown areas, urban areas, stuff not urban areas, but like downtown areas, industrial areas, and different cities, because a lot of people, went to the remote work, and so there's a lot of office spaces that aren't being utilized. So they're repurposing them into housing units. And when I saw that, I just sat back in my chair. I was like, dang. Because in episode 19, AI updates number 2, I said this exact thing. I said, listen, man, they're gonna replace people's jobs with AI. There aren't gonna be enough jobs to be able for these people to be repurposed. Those jobs are gonna be gone. But you gotta have consumers in your economy in order for your economy to work. AI is not a consumer. It only produces. It doesn't consume. You don't buy and go shopping and get clothes. You know what I'm saying? So then the only thing you're gonna be able to do is go UBI. You know what I'm saying? Universal basic income, which of course, which is totally ironic because I heard another nugget from an individual who works in the city council office. They were telling me that they're actually starting a pilot program. You know what I mean? With some UBI for certain individuals of lower income status. And I said, there we go. Who do you think they're gonna start it with? And I'm not a conspiracy guy. I want that to be understood. I'm not a guy to be sitting around like, I have my tinfoil hat on and like don't brush my teeth for 3 days. I'm not stereotyping.
Nah, you said it.
Nah.
You said it. You said it.
Come on, come on, guys. No. That was kind of a low blow. My bad. I didn't mean it like that. Stereotypically.
Yeah.
But I'm not that guy, and I want that to be clear because, I'm a pretty I try to be like I don't really tripping rational. I don't
You balance. You try to maintain a balanced point of view.
Thank you, Claire.
You
think me at the dish. You see me at the store right there. But the pieces are too clear. You know what I'm saying? When you just kind of slow down and pay attention to it, if you're not caught up in all the amazing and the innovation and the new glasses and the goggles and like all this kind of stuff, like man, ooh, ah. Yeah. And you start to slow down and really look at what's going on and understand and consider the fact that people, like the people that run these countries, these countries and these companies, they're not overly concerned about
you.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I mean,
like the political process works the way it does because they don't care about the democratic process for real. They present the image. They provide entertainment. If you look up the definition of entertainment, it just means distraction. They provide the distraction, keep people occupied, like children. Give them games so they can like play while the adults talk about real business. That's what's going on. And our populace doesn't do itself any favors because we eat it up, like, and then we act like children anyway. You know what I'm saying? People don't educate themselves. They don't read. They don't pay attention.
I know. When we were talking about this, just to kind of add on, like I mentioned to you as we were going over like this all of it, like how AI, some of the videos, they're so poor. Like I was watching some and I'm like, oh my God, it's so obvious that this is AI. But, we know that because we know what good videos look like or like, good animation looks like. For a kid that grows up and this is what like they're shown, they're not going to know what a good video is like. They're going to accept it as is. And how you mentioned it, I forgot exactly how you said it, but like they're already kind of like, I don't want to say training kids to be this way, but with all the things that we see on their phones, on TV, with all the flashing colors, all the flashing images, they're already kind of, kids are already like this. And to think that something like this is just gonna continue and be a part of their life even further embedded into what they deal with, it's just
you think about how much attention to detail people really spend on, especially children, like this younger generation. Their attention span is that fast. If you see a video, some of these videos of AI, you only know it's AI because you saw the caption and say, "Oh, this is AI." But if it just came up on your timeline, you may not catch it. I've seen some stuff like Tom Cruise and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, he's talking about stuff. It's like, oh, it's AI. It looks realistic. And I'm looking at him like, oh yeah, okay, I can see his eyes not actually focused on the camera like you can see it. But if I was just scrolling, I would just think, oh, that's him. If I see some stuff with like Morgan Freeman, they have some things like they reconstructing him with AI. And if you look at it, if you just scroll it, like it looked just like him.
If you're just scrolling.
Exactly. If you're not, but But if they just slipped a video in your timeline and you weren't actually expecting it to be like, and then please don't get it twisted. The stuff that you and I are seeing is like first level stuff. You better believe they got second and third levels of already they working on.
Yeah.
It just ain't come to consumer yet. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get into all of our time is already almost up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna finish my other point that I'm gonna make, and then we're gonna start trying to wrap this thing up because boy, we ain't got all. Oof. Anyway, episode 4, your updates 4 is coming. but you take the economic piece, the job loss piece, you take the UBI piece, you know what I'm saying? It's coming. Like I said, it's happening. You take the housing piece. Now the government is creating housing, in these little cubicles. And it's not literally a cubicle, but you're talking about office space. You go downtown to any major city, you see these big skyrise buildings, all these glass windows on it. Like, you imagine like they have like 19, 20 floors of just like these little housing areas that people can live in. Now they're government subsidized, so you got to do what the government tell you to do in order to stay in these spots. They give you a little stipend, enough to survive and live, and they give you entertainment through AI to keep you occupied. That's the game plan. And while you're eking out an existence, I compare it to people that are on welfare. You made the point last time. Matter of fact, and this is not a knock, but I'm gonna keep it real though. You have people that have their whole existence has been welfare. They don't know nothing else, and they're happy when they get their welfare check, or they're happy when their food stamps come in. They go in, they splurge, they get to eat good. You know what I'm saying? They got to hustle. They selling food stamps on the side. They won't make a certain amount of money. They'll say, hey, I need to cut my hours to make sure that I make enough money to keep my welfare. That's my way of living. And their whole life is in their little small area where they live, in their little neighborhood, their little project, whatever it is, that is their world. They don't go beyond those borders, go beyond that neighborhood, that city. They don't travel. They don't even imagine that. Their scope is that small, and they find they're comfortable in that spot. If they have housing, they don't want to make enough money to mess up their housing. And so, I'm not saying that I'm not. I won't say, and I do not want to say that the government is intentionally trying to keep people suppressed. Because I'm not rocking like that. But that's the psychology, though. I'm comfortable here. The lid has been placed on me, and these are the incentives that I've been incentivized to stay in this box. And people live like that. Now, you take that and you broaden that across the populace, and as long as people are eating, they got a little bit of money in their pocket. They have a little place that the government provides them to be able to stay. They can complain all they want. Who cares? And you put your headset on and watch YouTube and have all the interactive stuff to keep you occupied while you're doing that, and that becomes your existence, and you live like that. If you ever saw the movie Ready Player One, it gives you an idea. You know what I mean? And then while you're doing that, people that actually own stuff, because that's the thing, with your bank account and all that stuff, you don't own anything. It's just numbers on the screen. That little UBI hit your account. It's just numbers on the screen, but you don't actually own anything.
Yeah.
You don't own the house that you live in. You don't own the car you drive. You don't own the money that you have. It ain't really your money. The government is giving
you're not actually in like.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the people that actually own assets, they own things. Those are the people who will live in the real world. Yeah. They will be able to go to Disney World without no lines now because everybody else going to Disney World virtually. You know what I'm saying? People that want to, like you talking, people going hiking, and they get to go and let the breeze and the mountain air hit them in real life while you experience it sitting in your living room or in your box. And as long as you content, keep giving them cheese. You know what I'm saying? Keep them content. That's gonna be that's the play. That's what's coming.
Yeah, we already see it like in a softer version with the amount of time that people spend scrolling right now.
Listen, lady, we're
already being conditioned to that.
I'm trying to tell you, prepare yourself. And I'm laughing and giggling. We finna wrap this thing up. Our time is over. So, like, it's a real thing, man. Like, and I think, like I said last time, people need to start focusing on purchasing assets, developing skills, and ways to maintain your independence, your individuality. You need to start working on your mind to start being able to process, to break your addiction to convenience and the instant gratification. Those are the things. Those are the tools that we use to control. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, like I said, And it's only, and I'm not saying it's like oppressors, like, and they all like, sitting on high chairs with robes on, as they watch the world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that it's because other human beings, and this is what happens when people get to a certain level, they start seeing human beings not as individuals, but as like populace. And they start to see like, yo, these people are lazy. They don't want to try. You try to give them something, they don't even like, they don't try. Like, they don't read. They don't educate themselves. Why don't you let this person have a vote and they don't even know what they're voting on? They voting on who got the prettiest suit or like who made the funniest joke. Yeah. These are the people you're going to give power over your country? Keep them entertained. Give them the sound bites. We'll run it. That's the play. That's what's going on. And that's their thought process. It may not even be nefarious, so to speak. It's just like, are you going to give it over to people that are incompetent? That's the play. Listen, so in AI, like I told we talked about with Mike when he was sitting here, AI is going to broaden the gap between the haves and the have-not. That's what's happening. That's the play. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to become the property of the government, essentially, they become your mom and your daddy. You living in their house. You got to follow their rules. You have to go with their initiatives. And if not, then they'll start cutting your money. Just like with welfare, hey, these are the stipulations. If you want to keep getting this check, you got to function like this, live like this, go like this, think like this, post like this, don't post like this, whatever the case may be. We watching everything you're doing. And, if you want to keep getting this check and living in this spot that we have, then these are the rules you got to follow. Hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? That's the play. I'm giving the game before time. You know what I'm saying? Do with it what you will. We had a lot more we wanted to discuss, but we got caught.
It's such a big topic.
It is, man. It's a lot going on.
It's so much, yeah.
Okay. The man said, keep going. And so we're going to give you an extended version today, I guess. We'll pop out a couple of minutes. One of the things that we really want to touch on, though, is Instagram and YouTube are working on these AI chatbots. You tell me Snapchat already has it.
Yeah, I've used it.
I've used it.
I've used it, actually.
Listen, I ain't judging you, lady. Say it with your whole chest.
I had a whole conversation with it. Yeah. Out of curiosity, my sister was the one that actually told me about it. So I asked it a few questions, yeah.
What was your experience?
It was like talking to someone in HR. Like, when I would ask it certain questions, it would give me very safe responses. Yeah. And what I'm assuming is that it doesn't, of course, want to tell you what to do, because that can maybe lead it to some issues in terms of liability, right? Yeah. So I asked it questions. I said, I think I typed like, my sister's being rude to me. What do I do? And it's like, oh, you should think about discussing with your sister, and here's some resources. And then I asked it a question just to see what sort of responses comes out of it. It's like, oh, I'm feeling kind of sad. And it goes, oh, here's some resources. And then it'll like send you stuff. But it's like talking to somebody in HR, yeah. Like very safe responses. It doesn't feel authentic, Man,
like I said, we're currently dealing in the world, the globe, we're dealing with the loneliness epidemic. We've talked about this before. We've talked about the danger of isolation. Right? We've talked about how it affects the mind, how it affects your body. It affects your immune system. Like, this is real stuff. It's not a joke. It's no different than when you're down. It's easy. You're more susceptible to get sick. If you're down, if you're like depressed, you're just like, man, I feel bad. You like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's what it is. But you feeling good, like, yo, I'm rocking, like I'm rolling, like I'm outside in the rain. You know what I'm saying? No shirt on. Well,
yeah.
Yeah. You know I know you have male and female listeners. I'm not recommending that. But
you kind of mentioned something that like I think is important also. Well, I kind of want to tie it into these two major points that you're making. The initial one is that people are empowered making decisions if you don't want to. Like, that's going to happen. They're going to make these choices for you. Secondly, how you just mentioned now, we're in a world where people don't want to deal with other people. They're kind of like, I'm happy in my bubble, but they feel lonely. So that's also why I was asking this chat about these types of questions, because it's like, okay, I'm curious to see how does it respond. As a matter of fact, I even, with ChatGPT, I asked it certain questions about some of the issues that I'm noticing in the world right now. It refused to answer certain questions. And I asked it, why don't you want to answer these specific questions?
Keep it real.
I had asked questions about what's happening in Israel and what's happening in Palestine, what's happening currently with the quote unquote war, right? I'm asking, what is this? What is really going on? It's a complicated issue. The issues have started. Da, da, da. It's such a generic response. I encourage people to ask ChatGPT. It did not want to give me an answer. Mm-hmm. And then I thought to myself, well, of course, depending on whoever created this program, this software, this system, they're not going to want you to hear certain answers, or they're going to want you to hear certain answers. So regardless, even if you don't have trust within people, whether you like it or not, you are connected to a person some way, somehow. That artificial intelligence system is controlled by, what do you know? People. What intentions do they have? Who are they? Whether or not you want to be a part of a connection with another individual, another human, it's going to happen. So you have to really ask yourself, okay, well, like in that situation, when I asked ChatGPT, what is happening? And this was very early on that I was just curious, because I was really curious to see how this thing would respond to me. And again, it refused to give me an answer. It did not tell me anything worth substance, anything worth an actual response. It was very ambiguous, very like, oh, it refused to answer. And that is, in my opinion, it's dangerous, very dangerous, because though I know that, you also don't want to have something that dominates a certain perspective, because you want to make space. I understand that aspect. You want to keep it balanced, as you always say. But at the same time, you don't want to be negligent of facts. You don't want to portray, because that in itself is also portraying it a certain way. So I think that all that to say, if people aren't careful and they're just happy with what is, like, the world is still going on around them. Even if you're in your little box, even if you're just in your screen, even if you're focused in, the world is still going around you. People are making huge decisions about you. Like with the episode when you when you spoke to the fact that, like, there are laws in place over even the microphone that we use, over everything, over your water, over your food, over the lights here, over everything. That doesn't stop because you're focused in scrolling. Like, that keeps going.
Oh man, that's so true.
if you really think that you zoning out, oh, I'm in my happy place, I'm safe. No, that's the illusion of safety. That's the illusion of comfort and security. But again, it's just an illusion. You need to be aware. You can't let, like, the goggles go over and just you be blinded. Like, you have to be aware of the fact that, again, like, there are things happening now. And I don't think that, like, I really like how you bring these articles that may seem as though they're not related. They are. They're very, because it all flows together. It goes with the change in the environment, with the change in the society.
You better believe it. Mm-hmm. You better believe it. We're going to say this, and we're really going to wrap it up. Yeah. The loneliness thing is because people are disconnected from other people. We've been talking about this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And these chatbot AI friends, they call them. So you can customize it to have it has a certain personality, and you ask the question how to deal with life. We talked about that in update 2, man. Like, they called it WHY.I, personal AI.
Yeah.
And like YouTube and Instagram are going to start, because at the end of the day, you got to understand, I'm not knocking it, like, but this is the facts. YouTube, AI, social media, their business is entertainment retention. That is their business, because they can keep your attention and they can have ads. That's the name of the game. And so if they can have you locked in to where you're talking to the chat bot and you scrolling, like, you just constantly locked in, then they get to make more money. I'm not saying they personally just don't care about people per se, but don't get it twisted. Like, that's their business model. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, this play, they're not really concerned about you not having human interaction. They're giving you interaction because people are lonely, so they're trying to give a solution to people's loneliness. But the fact of the matter is that as long as you are connected on the other side of a screen, you will never feel connected. You know what I'm saying? Like you can post and comment back and forth with people, but you're gonna always feel alone because human beings aren't designed. I've said this so many times. Human beings are not designed to be solitary creatures. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a fact. And all this stuff that you're trying to do, uh, Meta is developing contracts with different celebrities, and they're using their likeness. I know I saw one with like Kendall Jenner. It's a couple of people they've been signing on with Meta, like Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff, and they're going to create AI replicas of them, and then they're gonna be the faces for these friends. That's the other half, and like they're like, oh, I'm friends with, but they give it a different name, and that person get a check. That's what I'm talking about. The haves and have-nots, man. This person gets a check for their likeness being used. They sit at home chilling. And while everybody else like, oh, I'm friends with Kendall Jenner, but she calls her Bailey or Miley or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like talking to you, like smiling at you, and you're like, that's not a real person. That person's not gonna be able to, that thing's not gonna be able to relate to you on a human level because it's not human. It's never gonna replace human interaction because the imperfection of human interaction is important. Learning how to get along with an individual when they don't do everything you're supposed to do, that is a massively important skill. Even having a disagreement and then finding a way to like move forward and make up and find peace with each other again. That is a like grossly undervalued I don't want to use the word aspect, but process, I'll say grossly undervalued process in the way that we process the world around us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be able to say, man, we in a bad spot and I feel bad about it. And then you don't understand the amount of gratification. That's the word I'm looking for. How much gratification is when we ever say, man, my bad about that. Oh, okay, let me cool. And then you dap it up. Like, oh, man, I can like breathe because we good now. How much dopamine that releases in your brain to be able to say, man, we back together, we cool. And that kind of stuff, it can be measured with this, I'm telling you. Like I said last time, we're going to wrap this thing up and tell you. It ain't going to get better. It's going to get worse. Mental health issues going to go on the rise. Big pharma's, they excited because they finna sell lots more drugs. It's going to become a requirement when you start you getting on government assistance. When they pay for everything, they're going to require you to go to a psychiatrist, and you're going to be on that medicine. It is what it is. People going to be killing themselves because they so lonely and that you're not designed to live in a box. But hey, they'll clean out their apartment or their office space and they'll replace it with another cat. It is what it is, man. I'm telling you, like, and they're gonna keep those goggles on, keep you entertained so you ain't paying attention. It's no different than when people watch crazy stuff on their phone. They see somebody, people from the war getting blown up, their family getting killed, whatever, and they watch it, oh man. And they swiping this another funny video, like, and move on. It got swiped away. You know what I'm saying? People on real screen, car wrecks, getting shot, whatever, you watch it, man. And then you swiping in as a comedian or some girl that's shaking her tail and you're like, oh, snap, or whatever. Or some girl with a pretty dress on or somebody in a vacation, whatever. And that image is gone. Just like you swiped it, gone. Entertainment. It's the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? You can be upset about it all you want. It ain't going to change. The main thing I would tell you to do is be prepared. Arm your mind to understand what the game is and like make sure you play the game in a way that you can win. That's the main thing I can tell you. Everybody not gonna be able to gather enough assets in the amount of time it's going when this thing hits, because it's coming. You know what I'm saying? A year or two, that's what we're dealing with. You may not be able to gain the capital to be able to get the assets you need, but what I will say, just like what I told you about an employee, you need to work for you. You go to that job, you make that money, you decide what you do with your money, how you save it, how you spend it, what you decide to invest in. That's your choice. They give you the check. You decide what you want to do with it. I work 60 hours a week, but all that money, I don't go and go get fly. I mean, I did get a nice new sweater. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got to live a little, but
yeah.
But I'm investing in this, and there's a business plan behind this. This is a play. This is not this. I'm just out here to run in my mouth and trying to be cute on this camera, even though as I look at the screen. I need to wrap this up. We're way over. I'm being silly now. But you decide what you do with your money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can buy J's and get the nice rims and do it, or you can invest in something and build something. That's your choice. You know what I'm saying? If you get a government check, you decide how you divvy up that money. Take that money, try to buy something that has some value.
Even with your time. What are you investing your time in? Even if it's 5 minutes to just think or meditate or pray or read a book, or like, even if it's just as simple as your time, because not everybody has the money, but your time, where are you putting it? You know?
You choose. That's it for today. We're going to wrap this thing up and we'll extend it, man. We gave you that extra, you know what I'm saying, that bonus. Let's see what we do with all this. I mean, we may do something special with this. But anyway, subscribe, like, comment. I love to hear your thoughts on this. I know somebody got something to say about this, man. Go in the comment sections and let's talk about it now. So in fact, you and me, your mama and your, me and you, your mama and your cousin too. It's gonna affect everybody and everything, the world, everybody in the world and everything around it. So, know you got something to say. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, comment.
Share your thoughts.
Share your thoughts. Audio side, listen, for the folks listening to us, please hit rate the show, man. 5 stars. Do us right now. We trying to do you right. Do us right. Leave a review. These things get picked up by the algorithm, and then it says, okay, well, we will recommend it to more people. That's how the game is played. Help us out now. We're trying to make a difference out here in these streets. Get the merch. The shirt is dope. Listen, people like it. You will like it too. Links in the bio. Go grab me one of them joints. It'd be good for you. We're going to leave you like we always do. Want to say thank you. And we want to ask that you stay safe.
Stay blessed.
And please, stay human.